Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Terminator NJ is here.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing a Smackdown review anyway, even though Terminator NJ is here. I am Mr. Parkin, of course, and as you well know, this guy sitting next to me is Terminator.NJ.
What's up?
He ridicules all the YouTubers out there. I'm really joking, man. Subscribe above, guys. Like this video and comment your thoughts on this Smackdown down in that comment section below.
And actually contact us in the link in the description box below.
Yes, or else Terminator NJ will come and kill you. Won't they? Won't you? With his fake gun and fake knife. Anyway, so first Smackdown after Royal Rumble. We're on the way to WrestleMania weekend, but so are we with our WrestleMania review series, WrestleMania 15. We'll have a lot of interesting things to say about that pay-per-view. We'll be up at some point of the weekend, so look forward to that. We opened this show with none other than Teddy Long dancing in the ring for the crowd's pleasure, man. What a great opener this was, huh?
With Teddy Long coming out again. Again, he had some importance of it coming out. Obviously, he's just had one of his SmackDown wrestlers win the Royal Rumble, so for him to come out and start maybe mentioning him, it was something good.
He basically comes out and announces the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton versus Big Show versus Cody Rhodes, baby, my man in the main event on SmackDown, brother, versus Mark Henry. So my boy is in the Elimination Chamber. My boy has finally made it from the mid-card to the main event scene. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Oh.
Well, with the wrestlers we've got on the SmackDown one, it's a nicely stacked match. It's got the right wrestlers in, and it's really something to look forward to because of the wrestlers we've got. But that was soon to change later tonight.
Yes, because, well, Mark Henry comes out, says he's unhappy about getting his shot in the Elimination Chamber. He wants a one-on-one match tonight, and Teddy Long takes him out the Elimination Chamber match and suspends him for holding onto his shirt or tie.
He just flicked his tie and he went, "Oh, you put your hands on me." I was like, oh my gosh.
You're going to suspend me for flicking you?
Oh, yes, I am. You're suspended right now.
Too bad! I'm Mark motherfucking Henry and I'm not going to take no shit.
And the thing is, after the suspension, he said that obviously he's not going to go that put up. But I was hoping, you know, just to make the suspension a bit bigger, he was going to lay him out, but no.
No, basically, so we get Teddy Long suspending Mark Henry. He has a legitimate injury, so that's probably the reason why they're taking him off TV for the time being. So that's doing that. You have Henry coming out you're just about to attack Teddy Long when none other than Sheamus comes out to clear the ring with Henry in the ring with a bro kick, fella. So you got your Royal Rumble winner in the opener. That's pretty good.
With him coming out again, at first it was between Theodore Long and Mark Henry. Sheamus comes up at the stage, so Super Sheamus is there. Good opener for him coming out, but then it was to get just that little bit better.
Super Sheamus.
That's what he's going to become, I'm thinking, yes.
Oh, you say it got a little bit better. All right, because none other than my boy, that's right, my boy, Cody Rhodes, Mark #1, Nature Girl, came out to the ring and did a promo segment on Sheamus and Teddy Long. Oh, God, this is entertaining. Talking about he did all the work at the Royal Rumble. He eliminated 2 legends. He had a very good performance at the Royal Rumble, so I don't see why he can't be featured in this opener. I like it when Cody Rhodes is in this opener. And the IC champion in an opener on SmackDown. You wouldn't see that on Raw, would you?
Well, the thing about Cody Rhodes coming out again, yes, he's done it in the past. He's had the open before, and he started SmackDown really good. But now that he's been announced to be in the Elimination Chamber, for him to come out and get in front of Sheamus, again, it's hyping up their part in the Elimination Chamber, so I thought that was a big thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, Sheamus being the Royal Rumble winner can go after any of the titles now, and he makes that point. So later on, we get Teddy Long booking Sheamus versus Cody Rhodes, which was next. But this opening segment, it was quite long, I'll give it that, but it established the main event, or the SmackDown main event Elimination Chamber. It gave us a match for the night. You got that Mark Henry suspension, Cody Rhodes being there, Mark Henry being there, the Royal Rumble winner being in there. So it seemed to accomplish quite a lot, despite the fact that it was, you know, a long segment. So I thought it was decent. It was a good segment for what it was.
I think it got us, obviously, the Elimination Chamber announced and the match for next. So I think it did its justice, and it was a pretty good opener, but a bit long. Yeah.
Sheamus versus Rhodes was we came back from commercial and they rejoined the match. We didn't get to see the start of the match. It was a little bit disappointing, but this was a competitive match. Sheamus gets the win with his new finishing move. It was it went 5 minutes. I'd like to maybe to go a little bit longer, but it's still a pretty decent match, I thought.
For these two, the guys to watch out for the Elimination Chamber, they actually did put on a really good fight, and again, it was competitive and it was an enjoyable opening match. Like Dan said, though, it could have done more time, so these two can put on I'm pretty sure, a longer match than they did.
Yeah, and so you got your Royal Rumble winner beating your IC champion, which is pretty much how it should be done. Royal Rumble winner is probably more important than IC champion. But then again, we did think that one point Daniel Bryan, Money in the Bank winner, would be more important than Cody Rhodes, but he still did the job for Cody Rhodes. But there we go. After the match, though, we get Cody Rhodes remaining at ringside, and then out comes Justin Gabriel. And then all of a sudden, Hunico comes out, and I'm glad that WWE aren't afraid to give Hunico a mic. I think it does help enhance his character a little when they give him a mic. They give him a mic quite a lot, and they should carry on doing it.
Well, with him on mic, yes, we couldn't really understand him, but again, him...
Hold me.
He had his say in that. The thing is, before actually anything happened, we had Cody Rhodes coming into the ring and attacking Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking with that, it was expected to happen because of their past matches and the fact that Cody Rhodes still hadn't left. So I was expecting something to happen, and then it just cancelled that match for now.
Yeah, I mean, did you want to really see the match in the first place, Hunico versus Gabriel?
It would have been better than having nothing. Obviously, the match got worse, so I'm trying to avoid saying this, but Khali came out.
Like, you're trying to... This whole segment was all about bringing back Great Khali and potentially having Cody Rhodes and Khali, who we found out later in the night Khali would be in the Elimination Chamber, so having Khali and Cody Rhodes face off, both of them in the Elimination Chamber. You know, I could knock bringing back Khali. I don't really like Great Khali, but if he's going to be involved in the Elimination Chamber, you're going to need to make him a part of the TV show, and they kind of did it here with that little stare down of him and Rhodes. So I can't bash it too much, even though I want to. I can see what they were trying to do with it in the long run, going to the pay-per-view.
They should have just maybe made it Hunico versus Khali instead of having the whole Justin Gabriel attack thing. But whatever. All I'm going to say is that we have Khali now in the Elimination Chamber. Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't really know why they put him in the Elimination Chamber. Just don't get it. Why? No. I know he's a big guy and everything, but he's only just returned to TV. Why does he get a shot at the title? But anyway, whatever. We got a backstage segment with Teddy Long and McIntyre. Teddy Long telling him, you know, he's got this one last chance for like the 5th week in a row, and he's lucky he's keeping his job and everything. Then we get Santino and Hacksaw coming in, and we find out that they're going to be a tag team. Hey, Santino! Remember that was some funny shit, brother.
Well, with Santino, he has the clever-minded thing, and the way they made these teams with different names, and Hacksaw appearing on TV again, instead of just giving him that one-off Rumble thing, they're actually giving him a little longer, so I'm going to give that a thumbs up. Just a creative idea.
And I found it quite rich coming from Teddy Long that he was talking about predictable TV. Very rich coming from Teddy Long, who's infamous for making tag team matches as the main event, but that's just a little nitpick. Primo and Epico versus Santino and Hacksaw. Oh, God, this only went 2.5 minutes, but God, it was entertaining. You know, crowd loved Hacksaw. You know, why not bring him back for one night to team with a guy like Santino, who's a comedic character? You know, you got the whole, hey-oh, USA! He got the crowd reacting. It didn't go very long, but it was good for what it was. It was an entertaining, yet short tag match, and at least the champions win and continue to look strong. The tag champs are getting a spot on TV pretty much most weeks.
Well, two things I'll say about this. We have USA and Italy. Yeah, well, that does work. But anyway, the fact that we're having Primo and Epico appearing on TV again in another match, not a title match, but it's getting them an appearance with tag teams that we don't really have. So it's just getting on TV and a win. So thumbs up there.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man, what a legend he was. You remember the reaction he got at Royal Rumble? He nearly got as big a reaction as Smackdown. It's just a shame they have to pump canned heat in that place. But there we go. Our main event comes along. We had Michael Cole interviewing Daniel Bryan, and at first I was thinking to myself, damn, why is Michael Cole still berating Daniel Bryan as the heel champion? He talks about him getting a lucky victory, but then Cole admits he was wrong about Bryan. And I'm going to take your mic there, NJ, and I'm just going to continue talking because that is exactly what Daniel Bryan did. I'm the world heavyweight champion. I'm the world heavyweight champion. This segment is about me. It's about me. Daniel Bryan, world heavyweight champion, the vegan, by the way. The vegan.
Okay, this segment here, this bored me quite quickly. I felt like I was in school for a good few minutes because Daniel Bryan went through the whole slaughterhouse, what he do to meat and that. I'm like, oh, when are you going to start talking about wrestling?
Oh, man. For what it was, I'm going to have to slightly disagree with you, I'm afraid, NJ. I don't think this was that bad. I honestly thought, you know, you're talking about the crowd being the worst offenders of eating meat. You're trying to get him cheap heel heat, and this is a simple way of doing it, which Daniel Bryan knows a lot about, then why not do it? It did drag on a fair amount, though, but I will say this, throughout the show, I did feel they concentrated on what was important. They had the Cole Big Show thing here. The opener concentrated on what was important, and the main event continued what was important. So rather than having what would have been pointless filler, at least they concentrated on what was important on this show, even though it did drag on a little bit.
Yeah, the importance of being vegan. And the other thing is...
There might be vegans out there on YouTube, NJ.
Yeah. But the thing about this is that then after talk about the whole meat thing, he started bringing up what he brings up every week, which is Big Show, the AJ thing. And I'm like, you're against other wrestlers as well, but you're concentrating on Big Show. And I just thought, same thing every week. And then the expected thing happens. Big Show comes out, and we see pretty much Roberts every week. Danny Bryan gets Big Show's face, and they start fighting. So it's the same thing every week.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, move on.
I mean, Big Show and Bryan, in my opinion, they had a nice back and forth on the mic. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't bored by it or anything, but you had Big Show chokeslamming Daniel Bryan. Just probably how it should go, really, with Big Show being the massive guy. And then you had AJ coming out with a neck brace on, and she stops Big Show doing the knockout punch. It was an interesting way to end the segment, I imagine. I mean, it was long. The segment was long, but you got Daniel Bryan on TV in the hour main event for a long period of time, hyping up that thing between him and Big Show. They've got to concentrate on the separate feuds going on. In the main event, we got Barrett versus Orton. Here we got Daniel Bryan, Big Show. In that previous segment, we got Royal winner, and then we got Cody Rhodes and Khali. So they're focusing on what they need to with the 6 participants in that chamber, which is good.
Again, for this hour event, in my opinion, not just the length, but I just didn't like Daniel Bryan and Mike.
Opinion. They're making Natalia fart now. Oh my God, NJ, that was so you. Terminator NJ does not fart, he does not exhale methane at all. We get Beth and Natalia versus Aksana and Tamina. This match went about, 30 seconds to a minute? I will say this, though. At least you had Beth. I think this whole thing with Beth Phoenix, she's starting to become more dominant. She's starting to sort of shoo people out of the way and saying, this is my ring, I'm doing what I want. And I like that about Beth Phoenix, even if the matches aren't that long.
Tamina didn't have any involvement until the end, but the thing is, again, Beth picks up a win. It was a short match, pretty pointless, but again, it's all hyping up Beth's return and her wins towards what's later to come.
Yeah, and I can't help but feel that they're going to have Beth Phoenix go on like a run where she's, there's no diva that can outdo her in the Divas division, and then at WrestleMania, I feel it will be Beth versus Karma. It's just, that looks like the way it's going, and to be honest with you, at the moment, that is one of the very few Divas matches I would care about on a WrestleMania card, so I'm glad they're going down that route.
I used to think that Beth versus Natalia, but now they're just ruining Natalia big time, and the aftermath proved that a little bit more.
Yeah, because then you had Tamina splashing Natalia for the 6th time. It's like, it's got to the point now where Natalia means nothing, so the way they booked her, so Tamina splashing Natalia all these times is just starting to mean less and less and less and less and less, because you're not really establishing Natalia as anything to anyone to really beat now, are you?
No, and it's horrible because Natalia I would have saw as a good diva for the WWE, but now it's gone like that, so moving on.
Another Cena video package. We really need this on Smackdown.
Well, we had a Rock on Raw, so Cena on Smackdown. I guess it's WWE's way of spacing out.
Yeah, trying to get him over as a babyface for all those people that think the heel turn is coming. Nah, because Vince McMahon does not want his #1 merchandise salesman to be turned heel for the kids, Put a lot of emphasis on kids in this one, didn't they, NJ? But there we go. Let's move on to the main event, which was good. Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton in a no disqualification match as our main event. I'm not sure why this had to be a no DQ match, but I guess the main point of this being you got Randy Orton returning after the injury, the typical babyface returning and getting his comeuppance on the heel. They're both going to be in an elimination chamber, so it ties into that pay-per-view. And it was a very good main event. So that's what I'll say about this. It was a very good main event.
Again, competitive, it shows they're both strengths, but the thing is, as the match went on, Orton at the very end, he pretty much took control, had it go his way. Yes, you get to see Wade Barrett try and fight back by doing his finisher, but that wasn't enough to keep Orton down. And again, we've had Orton win on Raw. He's winning on SmackDown. He's winning his 2 return matches, but he's won the person that we expect more of a push and build from, which is Wade Barrett. I just wanted maybe it to end a brawl or something, but Orton picked up the win. Yeah,
I mean, the match itself, you had Barrett putting Orton through a table. They went into the crowd, they used chair shots. You had the RKO on the steel chair to end the match. And to be honest with you, I could bash Orton all I want, but it's at the end of the day, it's Orton's return. It kind of makes, I know this sounds a bit rich coming from me, but it kind of does make sense for Orton to win his return match as the returning babyface. So I could tolerate Randy Orton winning. Barrett took him out and, had the whole thing with him, being out injured and stuff. So this was the right thing to do, had to be, even if it's kind of not berries, but you know what I mean, weighed a little bit. But I mean, you have Orton coming back doing the typical babyface return. It's what should have happened, really. Even though I'd like to see Barrett win, but it's not going to win all the time.
With it being no DQ match, it made the match, again, made people say interesting, but again, it was just Orton's way of finding a way to dominate the ending of the match. But it wasn't just the match that was... The match, thumbs up to that, but the aftermath... Yes, we get a match announced next week, because backstage we see Theodore talk to Daniel Bryan, and he goes against Orton.
Yeah, so next week we got Daniel Bryan versus Orton. I'm not sure why Daniel Bryan had to come into the ring and start celebrating. It was a somewhat interesting and unique way to end SmackDown. I'm not sure why they needed to do it. This main event, was a really good way to end SmackDown. This week's SmackDown was a massive improvement over last week's, in my opinion. A massive improvement, because they've got stuff in there they can focus on. They've got that Elimination Chamber. They've got 3 separate segments in there which got a lot of time that really helped hype the important people on the show rather than meaningless filler, which we're complaining about consistently. So, overall thoughts on this show is much more improved than the other weeks.
Well, now they've made a match that has 6 wrestlers in, many feuds in that, apart from Khali. They have lots of direction on what they could do over these next couple of weeks to hype up each wrestler, hype up the feuds. So with the way they've done it tonight, like the matches we got, they all had some kind of meaning behind them that led to the pay-per-view and getting the wrestlers looking ready for it. So I'm going to give that a thumbs up, because I like that. It's just that with some segments, like this is a show that we didn't have the appearance of the Punkosaurus, even though I think SmackDown edited it out.
They did.
And they had Drew McIntyre's thing, edited that out. And overall, again, and the Divas, well, that's more concentrated on Beth than anyone else. Overall, it was a pretty impressive SmackDown.
But it's definitely an improvement over the last couple of weeks, which we have been made a point to rant about because it's just been full of filler. At least in this show, you had some concentration on the Elimination Chamber match with 3 or 4 segments. Some of the matches were pretty good. The Our main event wasn't great, but at least it's getting Daniel Bryan on TV. It's making him feel like an important part of the show, and he is the World Heavyweight Champion, so they need to do that. So in my opinion, the lack of filler in this really did help the show. The fact they've got some storylines going and stuff. Not sure about Khali, but I guess they can't. I don't know. He's just returning to TV. I'm not sure why he gets involved in this Elimination Chamber straight away for the World Heavyweight Championship. But could they not put someone else in that position? I'm just saying. That's all. For me, I guess a B minus. It was a solid show. Definitely better than usual. The usual SmackDowns which you've seen in the last couple of weeks.
I'm going to give it a C plus B minus, because I felt it had its importance, but it's just stuff in it that, as I said in the review, just bored me.
Yeah, and putting all the focus on that Elimination Chamber match kind of helps. I just wonder what else they're going to do at this pay-per-view. They're probably going to have Cena Kane, but what else is SmackDown going to give us on that pay-per-view? I'd be interested to see what they do with that. If they can't have an IC title match now because Rhodes is in the main event, fantastic for me. But, improved. So that's all I'll say there. I'm finishing it off there. Make sure you get your thoughts down in the comment section below, of course. And NJ now has a special message for you guys.
Well, people, you've tuned in for another review from the British Fist, which is from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Till next time, people. Hasta la vista, YouTubers.